Welcome to the 21st, a Review Travelers podcast. My name is Dee.
And my name is Lee, and today we'll be...
Welcome to the 21st, a Review Travelers podcast. My name is Dee, otherwise known as Traveller 0326.
And my name is Lee, otherwise known as Traveller 7526.
If it's the first time you've tuned in, this is the pod where we rewatch, review, and reuse every single episode of the Travelers TV show. And, well, we've got some bad news.
Yeah, we lied.
We're not going to make it. We were hoping to...
I think, in episode 1, what did we promise that we'd get through the first 2 seasons before episode 3? And here we are. Season 1, episode 3.
Episode 1. Those were the days. We were the little podcast with big dreams.
There's so much hope, yeah.
Dreams dashed by life being busy. And math, like simple math, actually.
Yeah, I don't think it was quite possible to make
We're like, oh yeah, cool. We'll do like 3 pods a week.
Yeah.
And then,
Yeah.
And then by the time December 14th comes, we're going to be all ready, and we're not. We're just not.
Did we realize we have jobs. Paid jobs.
Yes, we got paid jobs. This one does not pay us.
No.
We're paid in love, though.
Paid in love and tweets and likes and all that stuff.
True. No, I mean, we're paid with a love for this show, for starters. We love this show.
True.
We love doing it. But we've obviously been inspired. Thank you so much for everybody who's downloaded and listened to the first 2 episodes. Our plan moving forward is to do this episode, which is episode 3 of season 1. And like everyone else, we're going to be watching season 3 as soon as it comes out. We're going to smash it as much as we can. And we'll start recording pods about season 3 onwards. And this is where you guys come in, because I'm sure you guys will have heaps of things to say, heaps of comments and theories to share with us. And we'd love to have you as part of the show. And we'll come back and revisit season 1 and season 2 after the big hype of season 3, when we're all calmed down and we've all had a bit of a lie down, had a cup of tea, we're all over it. Actually, speaking of people on the web, I'm pretty sure... I'm worried. I'm a little worried about Patrick Gilmore Girl.
Oh, yeah?
I'm sure there's a few of you out there who follow Patrick Gilmore Girl on is he on Instagram or was it Twitter?
I do follow her.
Oh, you follow her on
I do.
on Instagram?
I do.
I believe the quote, I don't have it in front of me. What did she say?
She's worried about season 3 because what if Patrick Gilmore does something cute and she legit faints? I feel you, Patrick Gilmore Girl.
Oh, it's so funny. You know, when we look at the Instagram, the sea of Instagram DPs, all we see is like Riley, Patrick, Riley.
That's pretty much what it is.
He is a good-looking man, Riley Dolman.
He is, yeah. Oh, yep.
It's, like Riley, Jared, and Patrick.
Yeah.
And, everyone loves Eric.
Agent McLaren's pretty... He's not bad.
No, he's a good-looking man. And he's a big part of how the show came about. So, and moving forward, of course, as well. Mm-hmm. But people don't tend to hop on his bandwagon as much as Riley.
No, I don't know why.
Well...
He's cute. That's a secret of mine.
Well, it's out now. So anyway, I've been working on a new segment.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be called Messages from the Deep Web.
Ooh,
yeah.
Okay.
I'll do a little jingle, a little theme music. I'll pop it in just about...
Now.
Yeah, well, that was pretty good, wasn't it? We did that last time we did the Mom Award.
Yeah.
So let's just trust that I've done a good job. Anyway, so this is going to be our spotlight for people who have sent us messages. And if people have sent us no messages because we suck, then
We'll just make it up.
We'll make it up. Or we'll go pilfering messages from other people.
We will go steal them from other people, I think so.
Or basically, we're going to go check out Patrick Gilmore Girl's feed and just pilfer messages from her. She might not even know.
No.
She may not even listen.
She may not even listen.
Probably not.
Probably not.
Well, first of all, actually, this is the most recent one, so I'm just going to pull it up now.
Yep.
We have a very lonely Facebook page. And you know what? Facebook doesn't have a character limit, guys. So if you want to send through massive posts, Facebook's the place to do it.
It is.
I mean, I know you can DM, in Twitter. And in fact, someone else we're going to talk about sent us a very long DM, which was great. But, if you can't be bothered with the Twitter or the Instagram or any of that, you can hop onto our Facebook. It's facebook.com/the21st pod. Anyway, we have Kat Murray.
Yes, what does she have to say?
Her DP is actually Will Ferrell as Elf. Elf?
Okay, I'm feeling it.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. Woohoo! First, the new page looks great. She was the first poster.
Oh, thank you very much.
She's our only...
We appreciate it. First and only.
Yeah. So I felt generous. I said, hey, congrats, you win. Well, you win a shout out in the next episode. So this is a shout out to Kat Murray. Thank you so much. And she has said that she will cherish the download always. Love heart.
Thank
she
you.
did put a comma before the always. I feel like she's being a bit dramatic.
Maybe
even facetious. Maybe she thinks we suck and she's just trolling us.
Maybe.
Either way.
Yeah.
Gives us something to read on the thing. So if we hop onto Twitter, we had a comment from Max Sharp, our friend Max Sharp.
Max Sharp, yep.
He tweeted, I love that you commented on the small things in the first 2 episodes, like taking in the sunlight. Some of my favorite moments, even drinking clean water and having a regular meal. A little bit confused, Max. Sounds a little bit like you're talking about yourself. Some of your favorite moments, drinking clean water and having a regular meal. Times are tough for Max.
That seems like it.
Yeah, maybe he's doing some hard time. Movie day in prison, in San Quentin prison, is like episodes of Travelers. They haven't got season 2 yet, I think. Maybe they've just got season 1.
Ooh, maybe.
No, I'm sure that Max is a upstanding citizen, as far as I'm aware. And, well, as we said in our reply, Max, Travelers is so rich in small moments, in all the small things. There's little details that make us love the show so much and love the characters so much, and the situations that they put in really makes us think. And to be honest, without the small things, I think we wouldn't have a podcast. And thank you so much for sending that in. And in fact, Max has actually sent a massive DM completely filled with notes about the episode that we're covering today, Aleksander, episode 3, season 1 of Travelers. And we're not gonna read them all out. Of course, it's very, very detailed. And in fact, a lot of the stuff that he wrote is stuff that we were going to mention anyway. So you're right on point there, Max, or perhaps we're on point.
You're on mission.
You are on mission. What am I talking about? What kind of podcast is this? This is a Travelers podcast. I got to get my Travelers on. Oh, I got to get it. So I've only picked out 2 things though that were different that we would never have thought of. Only the brain of Max Sharp.
All right. What
At
have we got?
_Max if you're on the Twitter. Number 1. Point number 9 in the list of 20.
Ooh. Oh my gosh.
Can Marcy cook Philip a cleaner drug?
That's a good question. I would say she can.
I think she can. I mean, with her doctoring skills, and surely they can, work on the chemistry.
Maybe that'll come about if he still needs it. Season 3.
Yeah.
But I think she's got her own issues that she's worrying about, so makes it a little bit hard, perhaps. But
yeah, I think in the first couple of episodes, she definitely doesn't have the time. But as we see later on in this episode, she's starting to think and do her ongoing job as the doctor, as the medic in the Travelers team. And the person who most needs her help, obviously, is Philip, we see in this episode here. So it's a very, very good point. And perhaps if she needed to control it a bit more, she would have gone down that road. As we see in this episode, she has other methods instead. But yeah, I reckon she could have done it. She could have been a bit of a breaking Marcy. on HBO.
Yeah.
You know, a time-traveling doctor turned drug dealer.
Perhaps.
Yeah.
so.
That could have worked. So, yeah, that was a really good point, Max. And the final one and it's about the final scene, so we won't talk too much about it because it was one of our favorite.
That, later.
Toward the end, I think. So I'll bring it up at the end, huh?
Okay.
Should we do that?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll do that. A couple more. On Instagram, our friend Los Glamgeles.
Oh, yeah.
That's the Los Glamgeles from...
Los Galangeles.
Yeah.
The new suburb.
It's the more glamorous side of Los Angeles. Yeah, the riffraff are in Los Angeles. But the Los Glamgeles. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That place, like, you can't... I mean, I couldn't walk down.
No.
I'm not glamorous enough.
No.
I think...
Too riffraff.
Yeah, that's it. They would have gone, excuse me, sir, you can't enter here.
No.
Where are your shiny shoes? Where are your heels? No.
Suit.
Anyway, Los Glamgeles send us a message.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus, that was a difficult podcast to reach. The link doesn't jump, and it can't be copied and pasted from Instagram. I had to type it in by hand, but it was worth the trouble, and I really enjoyed it. Is there any way I can help convince Apple to put it somewhere more accessible, like? She didn't say like.
Oh, they speak Scottish there, do they, as well? Is it Scottish you're doing?
I'm trying
to
do an Irish accent.
Oh, it's Irish.
Okay. My name is Los Angeles. Glamgeles. From Shamrock.
Oh my gosh, okay.
Or a tiddly-dee potato. 21st century potato.
It's terrible.
I don't think she's Irish. I have no idea.
I don't think so, but that would be very
It was only
cool.
because she said Jesus at the start that I thought it was funny. Thank you so much. What dedication. I actually did get to the bottom of it. And guys, if you hop on our social media, you'll find our proper iTunes link because finally we've been approved
We're Apple approved.
We are
iTunes approved.
Well, it's Apple approved.
Apple approved.
And maybe Los Glamgeles actually, she got some stuff done. She did offer.
She's working behind the scenes.
Yeah. What did she do? She was protesting, a hunger protest out the front of Apple Incorporated, California.
Yes.
Signs up, free the 21st.
Thank you.
Or maybe, she sent some strange things in the mail until they just got annoyed and decided to approve us.
Approve us, yeah.
Because who are these idiots? The 21st. What a stupid name for a podcast. What is this? Travelers podcast. Oh, there must be hippies who drive around the country and take Instagram photos of their food.
Close.
So thank you, Los Glamgeles. But one more, she didn't really actually send us a direct message that I can remember. She's commented and said, hey, great, and all that sort of thing. But just a post I saw actually the other day, I think it was on Sunday, Travelers3326 on Instagram.
Oh, yeah.
At Antonia ARS. I'm sure heaps of you guys are already familiar with her. She's everywhere on Instagram. Everything it's
probably one of the best fan pages there, I think.
I think so. Yeah, she's great and really involved in the discussion online. So great to be following her.
Yep.
And she mentioned, today I met someone who does the same thing that I do. I watch Travelers in several languages just to watch more often. I've already seen the 2 seasons 4 times in Portuguese, English, Spanish, and German.
That is impressive.
Yeah.
I wish I could do this in Portuguese.
Sure.
Wait, is that a language?
Portuguese is a language.
Okay.
She's from Brazil?
I think it says she's from Brazil.
Yeah, that explained. I think, Portuguese and Spanish and English are spoken quite a lot in some of those South American countries. German, though, shrug. Why not?
Jeden.
You've never seen Travelers TV. You've seen it in the original German. But it got to sink in, though, right? Like, where's the Aussie version?
Yeah.
We're Aussies. We're Aussies.
I don't know if Aussie TV is that crash hot Aussie accent.
What would it? I wonder what it would be like.
The Bogan Travellers.
Mate, you're off mission, eh? Fucking follow protocol 5. Jeez. Beauty bonza.
Yeah.
And other such things that no one says here.
Yeah, I don't know where they get that from. Shrimp on the Barbie or
check out that Sheila Marcy. She can kick all kinds of ass.
Yeah.
That's the reason why.
That's why we don't have an Aussie version.
No, we don't. So anyway, that finishes off our messages from the deep web section. So let's just get started, huh?
Good idea.
So we're doing Season 1, Episode 3, Aleksander.
Aleksander, yep.
It first aired on October 31st, Halloween, on 2016. Mm-hmm. The episode was written by Mika Collins and Tara Armstrong and directed by Andy Makita. All of them have a bunch of Stargate and Travelers credits, as we found with actually a bunch of the writers and directors who've worked on the show. Are you doing your Stargate face?
Yes.
It's not a visual medium, but she's done the lip thing. I'm gonna do my preview voice again.
All right, go on.
And
the man of many voices.
Mostly bad Irish impressions. Okay.
A team member buckles under the guilt of not being allowed to prevent future deaths and puts the travelers in jeopardy.
There's a bit of an anticlimax to that one.
Yeah, I don't know where it's going.
No, not really. It's very vague, which most of the... these ones are from Travelers Wikia, like we did in episode 1. What was the Netflix one?
Yeah. I'll find it. Racked with guilt, Philip defies the rules in an unauthorized attempt to alter the future, resulting in violence and the exposure of his secret.
If I saw that on Netflix, I'd be pretty intrigued.
And yeah, sums it up pretty well.
Philip, for starters.
Yeah, Philip. Yeah, just the word Philip. Okay,
Philip.
The episode's about Philip. Yes, please.
Defies is a good word.
That's a good word.
And then violence.
Yep.
No, it sounds like it's like action-packed.
And secret.
Ooh, yeah, intriguing.
We want to know the secret.
The whole episode begins with Marcy and David. Did the last one end with Marcy and David?
I think it might have.
Yeah. So at some stage in the last episode, Marcy agrees to go to the hospital or go to the doctors with David. So at last episode, Marcy's been putting him off, just telling usually telling sort of half truths.
Yeah.
Kissing him, doing anything she can just to sort of get her mission done, get her stuff done, and keep him at arm's length while keeping him close enough to be helpful. And that seems to be it. You know, she's not using him as such, but she kind of is. You know,
a little bit.
But at the end, she seems quite humbled because the traveler inside Marcy is, in the first couple of episodes, is just trying to deal with her situation and probably thinks she's going to die, as we've mentioned before.
I think so.
And she just needs to get the thing done. Now she's left with the prospect of having to long-term deal with this, which is going to be degenerative, and she ended up in hospital. Yeah. And so she's been humbled and she's agreed that she needs help and she needs David. So we see her at the start with David going to the appointment.
Okay, here's my theory. Tell me if I'm close. You've been undercover with a FBI task force on some kind of mission this whole time. You needed a cover.
It's very close.
Really?
Thank you. That's all I need. I'll see you back at the apartment later.
Wait, Mars! No, we had a deal.
Poor David. David's theory is our theory, is the audience's theory, right? So they use David as us, basically, because he's the outsider and he's the normal guy. Like we all wish we were like that. I wish I had his beard. There's something about David that we all wish we had.
I think so.
A bicycle.
Yeah.
A beard.
Yeah. Just David in general.
Just David's.
I wish I had David in general.
I wish I had a David in my life. So yeah, he says that she's like an undercover FBI or something, and Marcy's like, yeah, pretty close.
He's pretty spot on.
He is pretty spot on.
Yeah, he finally got there.
When she realizes the MRI is already done, she's like, well, fuck am I doing here with you?
Yeah. I got shit to do.
Oh, I got shit to do. I can work this out myself.
Yeah.
All right. She was gone from being quite scared, actually, at the start of the scene. Mackenzie Porter does a pretty good job without laying it on too thick. They sort of dull down David's voice a bit. It's a bit muffled, and she's sort of staring at the thing going and just wondering what's going to happen.
Yeah.
She has no idea. And then she snaps to when she realizes, oh, dickhead, I can go and get the MRI and do it myself because I'm way more qualified than the other doctors. I'll deal with it. Screw you, David. See you later.
Poor David is left there with his face.
And he's like, poor son, David.
Yeah.
Wait, Marcy, we had a deal.
Yeah.
And then she leaves. And then it cuts to a really beautiful scene, actually.
Yeah.
It's the funeral.
Yeah.
For Philip's friend.
Philip's friend.
So not Traveller 3326.
No.
But Philip, the actual Philip, his friend who died from the drug overdose. And you see it, and it's beautifully shot, beautiful Canada, the colours of the trees and everything, and it's a beautiful service and everything. And Philip's in the distance, all dressed up. Sad Philip is very cute.
Yeah, definitely.
Poor
His
Philip.
poor adorable face.
And the thing is, like, it's kind of sucks, right? Like, he's out, like, he's been pretty kind of stuck in his workshop. And apart from, like, you know, going to the skate park to see Ray or whatever, or being in the cop shop or running away from Gower or whatever, he's been mostly just stuck in his thing dealing with his heroin addiction. And so he's out there in nature. It must be beautiful. You're the traveler. You've come back.
Yeah.
I was like, this is what they promised. Like, you would be doing an important mission and you'd get to experience the 21st century. And he's there and it looks amazing, but it's just so sad. And I'm like thinking to myself, why did he come? You know?
It is weird.
And I'm like, is it Protocol 5? Is he living out Philip's life?
True. I don't think so.
No, I don't think so either. I think it's unlikely. And to do with the theme of the episode that we see as we keep watching, I think he wants to feel the consequences. He actually wants it to weigh heavy on him. He's like, no, I'm not ignoring this. I don't want to ignore this. I didn't ignore Gower.
Yeah.
Remember, like, Philip,
That was hard, yeah.
when Gower died in front of his eyes and he didn't do a thing. Since then, he's had a lot of trouble. And the whole theme of this episode, to me, is about the greater good, the faith in the director. Is the director infallible? Questioning all those things. So he wants to feel the consequences of what he's done. Well, not him personally, but the consequences of him being there in the 21st and doing missions and everything. And also not doing missions.
Yeah.
What is he doing now? Who is he saving now? No one. He's at a funeral for someone he couldn't save.
Yeah.
And he's like,
He
hang
gets
on.
yelled at by the mother.
Yeah.
That's harsh.
Yeah.
But
He takes it.
he does take it.
That's
he
what I
really
mean.
feels that. I think that starts the whole rest of the episode, really.
He wants to face it.
Yeah.
He could easily not have done that. And
Yeah.
in fact, it probably is Protocol 5 not to go there, right? So
I
if
think
you
what
were...
you say, you didn't call 911, you could have saved him.
Yeah. And then you were his best friend.
Yeah.
And then Philip says, was I?
Yeah.
And that's Philip telling the truth. It's like, he doesn't know.
No.
But he's prepared to stand instead of the real Philip. He's
Yeah.
there for... The real Philip can't be there to answer for his actions.
No. Well, the real Philip was going to die too.
Real
So.
Philip, real Philip is dead.
Yeah.
But this new Philip is there to answer for it, and the least he can do is be there for the parents to lash out at him, and she does well and truly. I've written here what I've an opinion of mine. I think in this episode, the greater good just isn't good enough for Philip in this episode. He's struggling with it, so he's like, greater good can suck one because I don't really agree with it. It doesn't feel right.
Yeah.
And in fact, they highlighted the priest, he's quoting Ecclesiastes and he's talking from the Bible and he says, we must trust in God's plan for each and every one of us.
Yeah.
And Philip must be thinking, that's similar to the director.
Yeah,
And at this
yeah.
point in the show, we don't know who the director is
No.
or what the director is.
No.
In fact, like, I wasn't sure whether it was a cult or something.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like in the future and the director's like this genius or like the leader or something that they worship. I don't know. And then we find out later, spoilers in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's a computer program, which makes a lot more sense.
The
for
computer
show.
program is the...
Is the director.
Okay.
And so, yeah, Philip is losing his faith in the director, in the director's ability to make the correct decisions. And not only the correct decisions as part of the greater plan, but the correct decisions for the opportunities that they have. So if he sees someone cross the street and get hit by a car, can he save them? He's like, no. The director says no,
Yeah.
because in the director's wisdom, that could affect something that screws up the future.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, but
it's
that doesn't
so
feel good to
simple,
me.
yeah.
It doesn't feel good to me. Like, I
Yeah.
feel like I should be trying to save
Yeah.
people.
How could you come here?
I thought it was important to say how sorry I was. How sorry I am.
You were his best friend.
Was I?
Are you high right now? Did you you come to my son's funeral high?
Marion, it's not worth what you're
You were there! The police told me you could have called 911. You could have saved him.
And then we see again Philip in the next scene with Marcy though, and as we've seen, they both have secrets from the team. Marcy brings some things, and like Philip is in the bathroom. I think he's shooting up.
Yeah.
And then Marcy swaps a pill. He gives a pill to Philip.
Yeah.
And he just swallows it straight away. Yeah. She's like, "Don't you want to know what that is?" And he's like, "No,
doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter." So Marcy kind of swaps that pill in favor for Philip to download the MRI from the server.
Yeah.
Of her MRI. And so they're keeping each other's secrets. Mm-hmm. There's another Coke endorsement.
Yeah, we should count those.
It's always in the scene with Philip.
Yeah.
It's like, does Riley dominate?
Maybe he does. Yeah, maybe it's just Riley.
I don't know. Maybe it's because it's a permanent setting. It's like, because this scene was in the hideout in their workshop.
Yeah.
So maybe it's that. It was the fridge, I think. Anyway, McLaren's like, come on, I need to have the coordinates. Yeah. And then we sort of see Philip go to his mind palace kind of thing. Yeah. Like his Sherlock Holmes mind palace.
Yeah.
He closes his eyes and then he does something and he recites the coordinates that they're meant to go to, which is really cool. So last episode we had quite a few firsts, didn't we?
Yeah.
We had the first new traveller that we met.
Yep.
First messenger.
Yeah.
And we get another messenger early on in this episode as well. So we see the team driving to their mission.
Yeah.
And then a little girl on a bike.
On a bike. Basically, they're going to hit her.
Yeah.
So they have to pull over.
They stop.
Yeah.
And then she whoa.
She is a messenger.
Yeah.
Something about the abort mission, like the mission is cancelled, in her creepy kid voice.
Yeah, that's it. It's really funny, actually, that little girl, after she says her, like, creepy, like, messenger voice thing, she's like...
Why am I here?
What did she say? It's just... She has a real cutesy accent. Like, she's like, how did I get here? Did you notice that? She's like, how did I get here?
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's kind
Are
of
you
sad.
strangers?
Yeah.
No, she doesn't hammer it too much. But when she says here, she sounds like she's saying here. It's so cute. And it's pretty interesting because Trevor reacts really funny to the thing. And I don't think Trevor's seen one before.
He hasn't seen one before. No.
No, because he's like, I don't know what he says.
He's like, that was creepier than I imagined. In his very zen kind of space that he's in. He
almost seemed like tickled to see it. Like, he was just so joyful in his face, like, oh my gosh, that's a real messenger in real life. Like,
and it's bloody creepy.
It is really creepy. And in the car, the group are arguing about protocol and the director, all the stuff that we were just talking about. So Philip is quite emotional about it. The others are talking about it and spewing out lines that they've been taught probably and that they believe in. But Philip's really lashing out.
The guy that they were meant to save, to turn into the traveller, to turn into...
That's right.
Yeah. So he wants to go and save him. Just tell him to watch out. Yeah. Watch out for that bus.
And they're all sort of arguing and saying, no, it's not in the... I'm wondering
Your
whether...
daddy got hit by that bus.
Best thing you did was get hit by that train. He's bona fide. He's got prospects. Best thing you ever did was get hit by that train.
I love her brother, where are they?
It reminds me of that when he said it. That's the first thing I thought. What's that poor wife going to tell her children?
You done got us banned from Woolworths.
Your daddy's dead.
I'm going to see my daddy for the first time on July 14th.
Phil's had to face it more, like face the reality
death more
and
as
death
well.
more than anyone else in the team. So I think he's pretty...
He's feeling it.
He's allowed to be lashing out a little bit, and the others, you know...
Plus he has all that knowledge. He knows every single person that's going to die in every single moment.
True.
Of the future.
And we see that, you know, like he needs to get it out of his system later on.
Yeah.
The next scene is like it's just a follow-up with Mac. Like, we're sort of... he's in the bathroom, his wife is there, and he's just trying to adjust to life in the 21st. And for some reason, they pick McLaren as the one who is not so good at it. I don't know why they picked him in the show. I guess
It's hard for him because he has a wife. Like,
yeah,
that's the closest thing you can have. So it's pretty hard to like.
that's true because no one
lie to her. You know.
no one saw like Carly trying to feed a little boy like
No.
arrowroot biscuits.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, Jerkface Jeff wasn't there like, bitch,
He
what are you doing?
Have a clue anyway. So
No, Jeff wouldn't anyway. But we find out that McLaren's been wearing the same tie for several days.
yeah.
Max sent me a message about this too. And we did...
The reason being, he has no idea how to do up a tie.
yeah, he leaves the tie done up because he doesn't know how to do it. In fact, I think in one of my bags
You
here...
have one tie and it is constantly done up.
It is.
You
I know how
bought
to,
it and
yeah.
I'm pretty sure the guy that sold it to you did the tie up for you and has never been undone.
The thing is, I do know how to do a tie.
Oh, do you?
But I don't often wear a tie
Oh,
for my work. And
Leave it.
the
leave
one
it
time
done
I
up.
do, I just, I did it up, for, for
I don't think
important
it's
things.
ever been undone.
That one, it has, because the knot got a bit big.
Oh, okay.
This is riveting radio. Talking about my bloody tie. And then Kat's like, well, at least you're changing underwear, right? And he's like,
Oh,
underwear.
shit. Well, underwear? What's underwear?
I don't
They
know what
wear
is.
that in the 21st?
Oh, it's pretty funny. I think he mentions going to a vegan restaurant as well.
He
which
wants
is-
her to cook a vegan meal for dinner, I think.
No, I think they want to go to a restaurant.
Oh,
he
okay.
suggests. So he's trying to like ease her into it, I think.
Because it's bloody weird because apparently he's a massive meat eater.
And I thought it was funny, man, because
Yeah.
like we've talked about this before, but Max's unique perspective on it is like he was talking about some of the other travelers later in the episode eating meat, and he says, "I wonder if it shouldn't make them sick, the meat and the sugar, like the high fructose corn syrup in like Coke and stuff.
Yep.
They wouldn't have had that before, and he thinks that Trevor might have at his age.
Yeah.
And then he points out, he says that there had to be cannibalism sometime during the dome's timeline. A person needs at least 10% protein in their diet to live. I don't know if it has to be from people.
Yeah, I'm hoping not from people. I don't know.
Protein in other ways. I mean, in a dome, he does have a point. He does have a point though. In the dome, like sealed away like, with the rest of the world going into nuclear oblivion or
That's
whatever.
creepy.
But yeah, like I don't go to cannibalism straight away in my brain.
My head didn't go there, but thank you for the new perspective.
Cannibalism, the other white meat.
Maybe the weak. We eat the weak.
Yeah, it's just it's Darwinism. Tasty Darwinism. But I don't know. I don't know whether it's well. First of all, their bodies, their host bodies, are used to eating that stuff, right? That's
I would
my
assume so. Yeah.
the way I think about it. I
think
guess
so.
Max. So I assume that their intestines and everything are used to eating that crap.
Yeah.
Like we're used to eating that crap.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's the veganism's about that. Although it may make him feel a little bit sick, like just
You've got your own.
not the body sick, but in the mind,
mind,
sick,
yeah.
maybe. You know what I mean? And that can the power of the mind can make him feel quite uncomfortable. I'm sure, like he's not used to it. Although, like we see, like Trevor, for example,
Well, we
enjoys
saw
it.
him try the milk coffee, and that was he just spat it
He
out.
hated it. Yeah, the cow's milk. I mean, he may get used to it. I'm not sure, but I'm thinking more. It's like, well, you're here to do good, right? What if not to go all activist? Like we're not being political here, but you know, like the byproducts of meat on our planet, like is responsible for quite a lot of problems.
Pollution.
Yeah, and so if they're looking at the past and studying us, they're probably thinking, "You guys are idiots.
Yeah.
Why were you doing that to the whole planet?
Yeah.
Why were you doing it to yourselves?" So he's probably thinking, "Well, look, veganism. Like, if you don't do it, it might destroy the planet."
Maybe it is the way of the future.
Yeah. So it makes sense. It's a nice little detail and a nice little character thing to have as with McLaren,
I think so.
which ties in with the next scene a little bit because Trevor is at school.
Trevor.
And he sits with for want of a better term, the nerd girl
Yeah.
who's sitting by herself.
Yeah.
And she's like looking at him in horror, like,
Why would you sit with me?
Well, she's probably thinking, he's going to pick on me. Like,
Yeah,
what's
yeah.
he doing? He's toying with his food.
Yeah.
And his food in question
Have you?
is corn.
Yes. Have you tried this vegetable?
He goes, you mean corn?
Yeah. It's delightful.
Delicious. And he's like, nom, nom, nom. And he's loving corn. He can't even respond with words. He's just,
The food, in his time must be disgusting.
Yeah.
Have you tried this vegetable?
Corn?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But then we see his friend sit down.
girlfriend.
Yeah, so his
I
friend,
think it's his girlfriend.
his mate first, who sits down,
Oh, yeah.
and then he's like, "Wrong table, bro." You're sitting with the
jock, eh?
nerd. And then his girlfriend,
I forget her
her
name,
name.
too. It's a name I don't expect her name to be.
yeah.
Anyway,
it's gone from my
she
brain.
sits down.
Alyssa Lynch is her name, her actress name.
Well, that's not helpful.
No, I don't remember. Anyway, she sits down and bumps the girl, and she breaks her phone. And then Trevor's like, "What are you doing?" And he goes down and he helps her and stuff.
Wrong table, bro.
Hey, babe.
Oh my God. You okay?
She broke my phone.
So sorry. Here, let me help you up. It's okay. Come here. I'll get your bag for you.
In a later scene, we see Trevor gets pulled up with the counselor.
Yes.
And it's the first appearance
Yes.
of Grace Day,
Woohoo.
actress Jennifer Spence. We saw her in another show recently too, and she was great.
It was in that Lucy Hale. Was it the Lucy Hale one?
I think it was, or was it in Riverdale? No, I think it was
I think
in.
it was the Lucy Hale one.
Yeah,
the,
what was that called?
Life Happened? No,
No, I
that's
don't
something
remember.
else.
Anyway, yeah, she's a great actress. She ends up being pretty important to the series.
She's a sarcastic.
Oh,
very
that's later on.
sarcastic.
That's
yeah,
later on.
Yeah,
Miss
She's a
Day.
good
This is the
character.
real Miss Day.
Miss Day, yeah.
And Trevor is in a counselling session with her and with Trevor's girlfriend.
Yeah.
And she, being dressed down, I guess. And then she's telling him off, and his girlfriend's like, "I'm totally nice."
I'm sorry. You're not nice.
He just turns straight away to just tells her
He just can't help it.
I don't know why she hasn't left him already at this point.
I think she still sees him as that awesome jock that, she wants to be with. I feel like she's only mean because of who he was before, though.
It's possible that she was living up. She was like, see, I'm a good girlfriend. I'm mean like you.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm going to forgive you this time, Trevor.
Yeah.
Because you have concussion of the dick.
Yeah.
But next time, I'm going to greatly consider leaving you.
Yeah.
So he seems to be distancing himself from his girlfriend a bit.
Mm-hmm.
It's not really following Protocol 5, but I've made a decision, or we made a decision
we?
rather. Well, he had concussion, and the doctor literally said that they can have changes in personality.
Yeah.
And so while Trevor is walking a very fine line here, he's being a little conspicuous by being so different. So he's kind of breaking Protocol 5, but at the same time, this isn't his first rodeo.
It's a tiny little bit of an excuse.
Yeah, and it endears him to us as well. We like him because of what he's doing.
Yeah.
I like all that.
He then, what's he do? Pays for the girl's phone to get a new one.
Yep. He goes, "I'm sorry, Miss Day."
And then his girlfriend and Miss Day are like, what the fuck?
Yeah, they're both looking at it going, "Did you just see that?"
Yeah, now they're besties.
Yeah. So anyway, I think Trevor's a little bit like McLaren in this way. He's sort of breaking Protocol 5 by being a bit different. We see later on that again we'll just skip to that because we're not going to do an order like we've done before. We'll try and do a bit better. Mac can't remember his password at work.
Yeah.
And then that's the other theme of the episode. So one theme is the director of faith versus improvising and trying to take destiny in your own hands. And the other thing is personality changes because it keeps shining a light on all of them.
Yeah.
And so McLaren is, he's uncomfortable with the tie. He forgot his squash date with...
Well, not only does he have a wife, he has a job.
He has a job.
He's the only one, I think.
He has to watch his partner type a password in. Is he the only one with the... Yeah, he's the only one with a job at the moment. Later on, someone gets a job.
Yes.
And then he forgets gun range practice.
Yeah.
And it's I think Erica McCormack is so funny at the end. He's he's just being told all this stuff and he's completely lost. And he's like, yes, it's Monday.
Yeah.
Let's shoot some
yeah,
guns.
sure, we shoot guns.
Oh, it's so funny.
And turns out he's a gun shooter.
Yeah, it turns out he's spot on. And then like his partner's like, when did you get to become Deadshot?
Yeah, a little bit sus.
The cute little scenes, the show, all of that character stuff. But they also have a little bit of exposition. The partner keeps talking about anonymous tips and IP addresses and all that sort of stuff, which, comes up later. We see a very, very brief scene of Jerkface Jeff.
Jerkface Jeff.
First appearance of Jerkface Jeff in this episode. And he's there in his cop car, and another guy comes past with a USB stick, and it's footage of Marcy kicking ass outside the library.
Yeah, when she turns into Traveler.
Well, when she turns into, she's no longer Marcy. What is he investigating?
I think he's just investigating personality, just like change in personality. I think he's Googling it or whatever he's doing in the car. He's change of personality or something, like sudden change of personality. So
because we see him investigate, but I just can't remember now, like if it was in the first couple episodes.
He's pretty switched on, and he's noticing that Carly has had a massive personality change. So
yeah,
and now someone has given him Marcy's footage, so that's going to even add to it.
So Jeff's on the trail of our Traveler team. He might not know it yet, but he's a cop.
He's probably the closest one at the moment
to figuring it out.
Yeah,
yeah. Even McLaren's partner is not really on the trail yet, is he?
Not yet.
That's an interesting thing just to put in there.
I think so.
And again, I think it's just to show that like this whole episode is about stuff like their personality changes and that sort of thing. Mm-hmm. We see Philip come back from the funeral and he shoots up.
Yeah.
And he's struggling. He's really massively struggling, obviously with his addiction, but also with the weight of all this stuff in his brain.
Yeah.
He imagines his friend in the mirror. You can see him.
Yeah, yeah.
And he's like, and then he's like, he can't save anyone because of Protocol 3.
Yeah.
And then he's trying to get that out of his head. And so he sits down and he puts the news on.
Yeah.
And it kind of triggers his mind palace, doesn't he?
Yeah, yeah.
There's a couple of ways of seeing this. Well, again, like our friend Max has sort of said, he needs to get it out of his brain. And I'm not sure like 100% what it is. Like it's probably open to interpretation. Like he mutters.
He's saying it before the news is saying it.
He's remembering, okay, this is happening. And then he starts to write all these details and events on the glass.
Yeah. He goes a little bit crazy.
And so, yeah, does he want it out of his head so he can forget them? Mm-hmm. Or, like, is he doing it out of his head so that he can Robin Hood it all?
Yeah.
Like, so he can take it into his own hands.
Yeah.
And obviously, that's more of what is going on in his head, I think, a little.
I think.
But yeah, he starts writing on the wall, like starts all sort of Goodwill Hunting or whatever on the wall. Actually, it even makes me think of like, all work and no heroin make Philip go something. There's all kind of Simpsons, like Shining, because there is another scene with Marcy before that happens. But yes, later on we do see, if we're going to talk about his crazy wall, Philip's crazy wall, there is a kid with a basketball outside, and Philip goes and opens up the door, and all the glass has been covered with details, and then the kid looks at him, and we zoom in, and then cuts to a different scene.
Yeah.
So we think, well, he's seen a messenger.
Did he have a messenger, or did he not have a messenger?
And that's what the show's trying to do to us. We see Marcy, she checks in on Philip. She checks his eyes, and she's like, you're using too much.
We're not going to save the world.
Why do you say that?
Because it doesn't want to be saved.
So we'll save it anyway. Depression is a side effect of heroin addiction.
I'm not depressed. We're just sitting here, waiting for orders from the future.
Protocol 5.
Resume your host's life. My host is a junkie. What about yours?
We're talking about you right now.
We tell you so much more, Marcy.
We are doing what we came here to do. And we knew going into this that we couldn't fix everything. That we're not supposed to fix everything. And if we do, we could make it worse without even knowing.
I know.
I know you know.
And they're challenging each other about the wisdom of Protocol 5.
Yeah.
And Marcy doesn't just keep quoting Protocol and stuff like the others were doing in the car. She's trying to be a bit more real about it, but she's also trying to just do a job as well and keep him healthy.
Yeah.
So they talk about it a little bit, and we can see that sitting idle and doing nothing is really, really hard for Philip.
Well, he is following Protocol 5, and his life is a junkie, so spot on mission.
What she say? No more than 8 units. Any more than that, and I know it's because you want it, and I won't stand for that. And then she closes the door, and we see the crazy wall.
Ah, yep.
That's the first time we see the crazy wall. Yeah. Then we see part of Phil's plans are starting to come to fruition. He meets Ray, the lawyer.
Yeah, at the skate park, yeah.
At skate park. He says, put all the money on calculated chaos on this horse. And Ray's like, oh, okay, you sure? And we find out that Phil's plan is to send cash to Steve and Gower's family. So Steve was his friend.
His friend, yeah.
And Detective Gower was the policeman who died in the first episode. And the lawyer, it's weird because the lawyer's trying to be his friend, but like Phil's kind of pushing him away a bit. You know, the lawyer's still a little bit squeamish, like he's still a bit of a douchebag.
He's also a gambling addict, so
it's true. But then he sort of starts to open up. He's talking about his kid. Yeah. And he's like, it's so Ray because he's like, oh man, I bought my kid a new car. Well, new-ish. Yeah. and it's like, and then Philip's like, what, he didn't take it? He's like, of course he took it. He's not an idiot. But so I buys it for him, but the kid still hates me. And then Philip's like, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah. Just put the money on these people and be done with it.
See, he wants to talk his stuff. Like, Ray's obviously got problems. That guy's got problems.
Oh, yeah.
He's not a degenerate gambler for no reason. He's got issues in his life and he's trying to open up to possibly his only friend.
Yeah.
And Philip, you know, and Philip's just like, whatever, man, just make the money. Yeah. I've got like Robin Hood shit to do. I've got to make some money and give it to Gower's family and Stephen's family. Mm-hmm. Oh, and the second scene with Jerkface Jeff.
Ooh, yep.
It's with David.
Oh, yeah, he goes to visit David.
So how long have you been a social worker?
Over a year.
And when was the last time you saw Marcy?
A few days ago.
So bad at lying.
Touches his nose when he tries to lie.
Yeah.
I went by her apartment, and the building manager said he hadn't seen her around. I went by the library, same story. You have any idea where she could be hiding? You know?
Hiding? What for?
I don't know.
No.
Not in the door behind me.
No, couldn't possibly.
Well, if she does show up, let her know I'd like to speak with her about pressing charges.
She won't be pressing charges.
But we have their faces.
Yeah, she wants to move past this.
Did she tell you that, David?
Yeah, she did.
Well, did she tell you that she kicked the shit out of those boys? You knew she was capable of this.
Well, I think that when people are in fight or flight mode, that they're capable of...
Fight or flight?
Yeah, it's instinct. People either fight or they...
You're stretching, bro.
I love this.
Fly.
Has Marcy been acting differently lately? Like a personality change, or...?
No.
Well, all right.
This is not good, Marcy. He can't know you've been staying here not even for a few days. It's completely inappropriate. I'm your social worker, for God's sake.
So we don't tell anyone.
Symbols.
That's that like verging on spectrum thing that we come to expect from Marcy. Poor David. You know, they fight or they
fly.
They fly. I have to say, actually, J. Alex Brinson is actually really good in that scene too.
He really is. He's a little bit less jerk-faced in that one.
You can see that he's good at his job.
Yeah.
He has steady eyes and he's thinking and he's leading. He's leading David badly. Yeah. David's like not good at interrogation.
No.
And Jerkface Jeff really is. And he's only had 2 scenes in this entire episode, I think. J. Alex. So he's done a very, very good job with the very little that he has. And I've started to see, like, there's a lot of love for him online. And,
I haven't looked into it. But after you told me, I felt a little bit bad calling him Jerkface Jeff.
Well, it's just his character. He probably loves it, man. It's like he gets to play a little bit of a
He plays being a jerk well.
Villains have the best songs, man.
True,
like in Disney movies.
True.
Yeah, so Philip gets his harebrained idea, perhaps, as we find out. It wasn't a messenger, but he's maybe got the idea because he saw the kid playing basketball outside.
So.
And his crazy wall's got all these details, and he's thinking, you know what?
Can I save?
Fuck it.
Yeah.
And so he calls. So like, you know, when I saw the kid's face, because he actually looks like a traveler kid, like a messenger kid. He actually depicts. I think the other girl was a redhead as well with little freckles, and like I think this kid was similar. Want to play a game?
Yeah.
So he calls up Grant McLaren, and they have to talk like as if it's his wife. So like it's pretty funny. Like Grant McLaren's like, "Oh, hey, honey," and then like Philip's like, "Hey, sweetheart."
Yeah.
And he tells him that he's got a mission. So this is a bit weird because this is the third episode we've seen, correct?
Yeah.
So it's like we don't really know how they normally get missions.
No.
In the first episode, they get mission from the deep web.
Yep.
In the second episode...
Well, they were meant to get a mission from the guy that was supposed to come through the guy that got hit by a bus, but that was cancelled. So they're all like, what the fuck do we do?
True. But the thing is, like, McLaren just accepts that, sure, Philip got the messenger.
Why would he lie? Yeah.
Why would he get them? Why would he lie? He's a historian, I guess.
Yeah.
And I think Philip says, like, oh, there's probably a shortage of prepubescent kids messing around at the FBI.
Yeah.
Because of something that Marcy says earlier, which is that their minds are more pliable and are able to be a messenger without hurting them too much because they're young.
Yeah.
Or whatever. Science. But there are a lot of signs that this is not right. Mm-hmm. And McLaren doesn't really see it. Number one, we're not meeting at HQ, we're meeting at Carly's.
Yeah.
Why are they meeting at Carly's? It's because they won't see his crazy wall.
Exactly.
And also at Carly's, there's a distraction of young Jeff.
Yeah.
And you can see it. You can see, like, you know, young Jeff is crying or murmuring and stuff, and people are sort of looking at him and then looking back. They're not really making the best decisions, maybe. They're a bit distracted. And then, you know, why did the messenger not come to the leader?
Exactly.
The messenger was scarce on details. So Philip even says, and they're like, okay.
Yeah.
I guess this must be all right. And so, like, Carly's like, hell yeah. And she starts pulling out guns from everywhere.
Yeah.
Gun out of a nappy. Yeah. gun underneath the crib.
Yeah.
You know.
Far out.
Young Jeff's playing with the gun.
So what
picks up a
is
gun.
her role? We don't know that yet.
We don't know it yet, but she's clearly a badass. And
yeah, just because we know Philip's the historian. I just can't remember what she was. Anyway, we'll find out
she's
later.
She's the tactician, I guess.
Ah, yes.
We'll just say, she's
we'll
the
go
tactician.
with that.
And they're pulling out guns from everywhere, and McLaren's like, hey, man, we're rescuing a kid. We're not invading fucking Normandy.
Yeah.
So, okay, cool. They've finally got a mission. Mm-hmm. And we're like, cool. The music, you know. Yeah, basically.
Can I just say the weird thing about this when they're driving to the mission?
What's that?
I don't know if we picked this up in season 2. I don't know if he was driving in season 2, but Trevor is driving. Is that not weird? Trevor is a school kid.
In America, they can drive on their L's, can't they? By themselves.
I have no idea. But here...
Well, I only learnt that from Clueless.
Oh my god. That's like so old.
I learnt that from a movie from 1993, but anyway.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I don't know for real.
For me, I'm like, wait a minute, rewind. Why is Trevor driving? Like, what if he gets pulled over? Like, he's probably on his L's.
He wasn't driving in, well, he was driving.
He wasn't in the second episode.
No.
He was the passenger?
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't know. I just thought it was weird.
He was also not driving earlier in this episode when they go and then see the traveler, because he's in the backseat when he's like, oh, that's weird. But look, I don't know the laws.
Do you have L's and P's there? Because we have this
is riveting stuff.
Red peas.
Can you guys let us know?
Green peas. Is it normal for what would he be? 16, 17 max?
I think he's a senior.
Yeah. So maybe 17.
Which for us is year 12 in Australia.
So he might be 17.
Because remember his dad was grilling him about like graduating, I think. And he's like, you don't have that scholarship. You can't throw a ball, so you suck.
So can he be driving?
Yeah.
Or does he need P plates like we do in Australia?
No, I don't think they have that. In Australia, look, we're not going to tell you about our system.
I'll be here. That's a whole
as
other
annoying
episode.
as that is. But we have different levels of driver's licenses for young kids. You can look it up if you want. If that's going to like
not that exciting, but
float your boat.
Just let us know. Can Trevor technically drive? Because I'd like to know.
Yeah. All right. Well, let us know. So as they're heading to the mission, we can see Philip is pretty nervous, and we sort of get an inkling why.
Well, we don't know yet that it is
not officially.
Yeah.
Not officially.
You get
And then we get there, and they're all the little cues. There's a barbed wire fence. Mm-hmm. Then they go there, and it's a shack, and then this the car pulls up.
It looks like he's got kids in his basement.
Yeah. Washed out face lady, old van. Yeah. It's got like a real Red State kind of vibe. Yeah. They go in there and they're making chit chat, and who is it? It's Carly and McLaren.
Yeah, and they see little kids' shoes at the front. That's the first tip off that there is a child there.
McLaren sees it straight away.
Yeah.
These people are lying. They're talking crap. We don't have a lot of company. Marcy and Philip sneak in the back door, whatever. Yep. Whilst Carly and McLaren are talking to these hicks. And they're all like stupid stuff, like, oh, these people stole our jobs, and like all that sort of thing, racist hick talk or whatever. They're Marcy and Philip in the basement. They can smell something, and it's like, baby. And it's chickens, but they didn't know, like, it's just, unless I think the hicks say that there's chickens in the basement or something, because they're like, what's that smell? Anyway, Phil and it's fine. I can't call him Phil. Philip.
Yeah, it's weird when you say Phil, but it's like your pals.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, Phil. Philip and Marcy find a crib in the basement. They find a chicken coop. Yeah. And then they find a cross in the dirt. Yeah. And they were like, oh, this is like 7 or something. Yeah. It's like, oh, they're hiding the smell of a dead person with chickens and chicken poo. The parents call for Patrick. Yeah. They're like, oh, yeah, we do have a kid. Yeah. We do have a kid. Come on, Patrick. Yeah.
So we assume that there is no kid, like Patrick is dead. Yeah. But anyway, it's Philip's digging.
It's quite tense. It's good directing from Makita there. Lots of cuts to like reaction shots to build up.
Cuts to Philip finding like the body, and then it cuts back.
Tension.
And then
tension in the music, tension in the cutting. Philip finds a kid's body, finds like a sneaker and everything in there. And they're talking on comms. Yeah. And then Patrick turns up. And just get away from the serious for a second. What the hell is Patrick wearing?
I don't remember.
He's wearing tights underneath shorts. Which he doesn't look like a sporty kid, so it's not like he's been at the gym or something, but he's wearing tights under his shorts. Is this like a thing?
He's Russian, isn't he?
I think he's meant to be Romanian.
Okay. I can't remember what language he gets spoken to, but I don't know.
It's a kind of Eastern European sort of sounding language.
Maybe that's what they wear there. I don't know.
Yeah, well, it doesn't look like what you're supposed to wear on like Kick Farm.
Peter Pan or something.
Yeah. So Patrick gets interviewed, and McLaren bends down and talks to him in Romanian or whatever it is that he's talking him in. And that's a pretty risky move because like the hicks are like, that must be the language that he talks at home. So like this agent Russian, must know. Yeah. Is it Russian?
Yeah.
It's actually Russian?
It's actually Russian.
Yes, he's like, and they're like, that man is talking backwards. He's talking like one of them records. Talking English. He's talking in tongues. Shall I get the holy water? But they've realized, holy fuck, this guy knows that we've kidnapped this kid. Yeah. So they're getting very nervous and they keep cutting to the lady, keep cutting to the man and stuff. And we're like, oh my God, something's going to happen. And something even better happens.
Yeah.
Patrick becomes a messenger. Yeah. And he's like, travelers, you are off mission. Please cease, blah, blah, blah. And like, holy shit.
And the hicks are like, oh, what the fuck is going on? Like, what happened?
They kind of ignore it because like at this point they're just like, we need to get rid of these guys. But like, we as the audience are like, it's all built up to this moment. And
if you abort mission, like that kid's dead.
That's right. It's an abort mission. And then at this point, Philip's like, fuck this. Yeah. And he comes in and he grabs the kid and he's like, no. And McLaren's like, we are off mission. Stand down. Yeah. And we hear gunshots and we see that the 2 kidnappees are being shot. Carly and Mac have shot them. But Philip gets shot as well because he's there with the kid, and one of them must have shot him in the crossfire. Yeah, it's pretty interesting. That's kind of like where it all peaks, doesn't it?
I think so.
The whole kind of thing, and then the rest of it feels like a bit of a wrap up. Philip he's sort of got what he wanted, but got a little bit more. Yeah. McLaren to try and like clean it all up before all the rest of the FBI turns up. McLaren has he has Aleksander's trust because he can speak his language. Yep. And because he saved him. Yeah. And he basically gets him to lie. Yeah. And Max partner, I can't remember his name now, it's really bad, but his partner, who's been investigating the whole episode about the, the anonymous tips and the IP address vigilante and all that sort of stuff. And they've led to the same place, and Mac uses that as a cover explanation to him. And in the whole fallout, like they have to take Philip out, like to obviously get operated on because he's been shot. So they take him back, and he's like, "Oh, the director doesn't know what it's like," and all that sort of thing. It's all these things that we know has been going through his head, but now he's just expressing it to the rest of the group in no uncertain terms, and they've realized, holy shit, like he made us do this thing off mission. Because he's been feeling this way, and so they're all arguing and stuff. They inject Philip with morphine and all that sort of thing. And then they see, and I think Trevor sees the wall, and he's like,
or is it McLaren? I don't know.
They see the crazy wall with all the details on it.
Yeah.
Trevor or whoever was like, "Whoa, Philip."
Yeah, what the fuck is this? I think Agent McLaren comes and he gets pretty angry.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because it's all been happening under. Well, the thing is, he's the leader too, and he's like, I fell for it. I went along with it
for the team.
It's like, this is so stupid. I'm in so much trouble because he trusted Philip. So Philip's confronted by everyone. They argue about changing the future, and McLaren's like, "Who the fuck do you think you are?" and stuff. And then Philip's like, "Oh, I'm nobody."
Yeah.
He's
Marcy
so depressed about it.
cuts in and she says, "He's addicted to heroin," or whatever.
Marcy spills the beans, and it diffuses the situation, and it also explains why he's feeling like that. And as we talked about earlier in the episode, and this is a big theme of the whole thing, the director, it's so hard to believe in the director as being infallible when the director's made a mistake.
Yeah.
Now, McLaren hasn't had a mistake happen to him as such.
No.
Marcy has, but she hasn't spilled the beans just yet. Philip has, and now the whole team have found out that the director fucked up.
Yeah.
The director's like, didn't think that this guy had a long-standing heroin addiction. He thought it was his first time, and he'd survive and he'd be over it.
Yeah.
And then he'd be a perfect candidate to be a team member, to be the historian. He made a mistake. And so he's thinking, why should I trust the director?
Yeah.
The director's made a mistake. Why should I have faith in the director? And so I think everyone sort of like starts to sort of, understand where Philip's coming from.
Yeah.
We see in the few little wrap-up scenes, we see Ray deliver cash to Gower and Steve's family. And then we see a really, really, like, my favourite scene of the whole
It's my
episode.
favourite scene as well.
Can we play it, actually?
I reckon. I think it's everyone's favourite.
The thing is, this show, like, as we go along and see more episodes, it's stuff like this that really... We
team
like.
bonding.
It's the team bonding stuff that we actually really like, I think, isn't it? As much as the sci-fi stuff is really, really, really good.
Yeah.
Just seeing our characters interact is just a pleasure.
I think so.
Don't you have a test in the morning or something?
Yeah, but I don't got to study for this one. It's history. Here. I've developed a new appetite for life.
For life and burgers.
You just inhale the intoxicating aroma.
The intoxicating aroma. That's so good.
Meat?
It's ground.
You know they don't actually grow that in the ground, right?
Not asking any questions. I'm embracing the 21st century. Save it for later. This you want?
Coke.
Oh, yeah. Their brain will be tingling after drinking Coke.
Oh, for sure. It's like, this is better than drugs.
Oh, man, I want a burger now watching
I know.
Jared
me too.
eat that burger.
So, this is the list of potential host candidates.
Yeah, not all of them, obviously.
Then all these people are gonna die.
Yeah. Why? What's wrong?
I know this person.
Oh, yeah. Great scene. Embracing the 21st century, inhaling intensifying aroma, appetite for life and burgers, ground meat.
This vocabulary is very endearing.
High fructose corn syrup.
Yeah.
It is endearing. So they look at, they're eating and they're chilling out. They look. Trevor looks at the crazy wall and he sees.
You just labelled it the crazy wall.
So he looks at the crazy wall and he sees the potential host and he's like, I know this person.
That's your Trevor voice.
Yeah, I don't know.
I know that one.
What's you doing?
I was trying to do.
I know that one.
It didn't work.
I know this one. Huh? I know this one. He's a friend of mine. Sí, señor. You want to have the enchiladas?
Yes.
Okay, so it's a really great way to end it because we're like, oh, snap.
Yeah.
Something's going to happen.
That's going to happen
Who is it he knows?
Episode.
Is it going to be his girlfriend's going to die? Is it going to be his mum, his dad? Who knows? We don't know.
Most on mission.
The Most on Mission Award, Mom Award.
The Mom Award.
So the Mom Award is for the Most on Mission Traveler in this episode.
Traveler, you said.
Well, Most on Mission character. Let's say character.
Because we were discussing this earlier, and I thought it had to be one of the travelers. But you mentioned it didn't have to be. So I had this whole theory, and I might change my mind. Because I was just going to label it most off mission because there's no one that was on mission.
True. And it's only episode 3.
Yeah.
We're abandoning
everyone was off mission.
We're just going to abandon the whole system. All right. So what's your theory then?
It can't be Marcy because Marcy is off mission 24/7.
Really?
Marcy is the most off mission.
Really?
Do you think she's like who she was before?
No, but... like I'm suspending Protocol 5 for Trevor and McLaren, maybe a little lesser for Marcy. For Marcy, but she's had a lot to do with...
the most off mission.
Philip is the most off mission, man.
This episode, but Marcy constantly most off mission.
Yeah, but we're talking about this episode.
I'm just saying.
Okay.
I'm labeling people out.
All right, this episode...
Philip, off mission.
Right.
Carly, you can't because she didn't have enough scenes, so we don't know what she was doing.
She's
working
fine.
behind the scenes,
whatever she did was fine. Yeah.
I was going to go... If we're doing a traveller, I was going to go Agent McLaren, which is weird because you're totally against that. But he wasn't technically off mission. He was doing a lot of shit that was wrong, but he doesn't know yet. He's learning his host's life kind of thing.
And he is one episode behind everyone else,
exactly.
Right? No, I'm not against it. No, that's why I said Trevor and McLaren, I feel like I give them a pass.
Yeah.
Marcy, I sort of give a pass.
No.
Really? You disagree? Okay. So who would you say is most on mission this episode?
I said...
Oh, McLaren.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Agent McLaren. I don't think he's off mission. I think he's doing everything that he needs to do for his role. He's just fucking a lot of stuff up and forgetting a lot of things, but learning his character. So in future episodes, he'll be...
You'll judge him more harshly, right?
Yes.
And we were going to judge Philip more harshly this episode because episode 2, we gave it to Philip.
Yeah.
Episode 1, you gave it to Trevor.
I was, changing it to most off mission so we can do Philip again.
Always
Philip.
You're an idiot.
All right, who's yours?
Well, you're not going to like it now, are you?
Nah.
It's Marcy.
Marcy, are you kidding me?
I'm not kidding. All right, hear me out here.
Okay, let's
Marcy is embracing her role as the medic.
Yeah.
She may have secrets from the team, but she's making sure that Philip's healthy and he's very important to the team. So she's doing her job. In all the action scenes, she does what she's meant to. She's slightly off mission, but she's still dealing with things, like in the same way that Philip is still dealing with things, but we just don't know yet. Like the other travelers don't know yet. So as far as we know, Marcy is on mission, for the other travelers. And
she's just not her.
She also
her role
is the one who diffuses the situation at the end because she comes out and says,
"Yeah,
Philip is addicted to heroin."
Yeah,
and so in a way, she solves the issue with what was going to happen.
Yeah.
Was McLaren going to be like, I'm going to call the director up and say that you're going to get demoted?
Mm-hmm.
What was going to happen? We don't know. He's like, remember, who the fuck do you think
furious.
you are? Yeah. We've never seen McLaren that angry before. And he's like...
It was kind of hot.
McCormack, you're a good man, good actor. Yeah, so I kind of think it was Marcy. Marcy was like, she went shopping. She got stuff for Philip to make sure that he doesn't get infections. Like clean syringes. Gave him pill to make sure he was on track at the start when he had to give coordinates to the rest of the team. All that sort of thing. So I'm gonna give it to Marcy this time.
Okay.
If you disagree, guys, let us know. Undoubtedly, you might. Let us know. We have details at the end of the podcast, but we stupidly forgot to include our email address, reeveu@gmail.com, REEVEE youyou@gmail.com, which may be the best way. Or you can hop on Facebook and join our other friend.
Our friend Kat.
Our friend Kat, Facebook, and let us know what you thought. It's pretty hard to actually pick someone who's on mission. No one's actually fully on mission.
No.
This is only episode 3, so we're still exploring the universe of the Travelers. So we don't even have all the information yet.
No.
And so they're trying to introduce concepts for the audience to sink their teeth into slowly. And the way I thought about it was like this episode was a bit like the very first Prime Directive episode. Oh, I hit my little stand. It's the same as like if anyone's watched Star Trek, the Prime Directive, the Next Generation and Deep Space Nine, Voyager, the Prime Directive. And the Prime Directive says that in Star Trek, as they're going around in their spaceship, visiting strange worlds and meeting new people and stuff, they're not allowed to interrupt with a culture. They can't go to a culture that's like cave people and go, here you go, here's a lightsaber.
Yeah.
Wrong thing. But here's a phaser.
Here's a lighter.
Here is a replicator to make your own food. They can't do that because they'll probably think, oh, they're gods and they'll worship them or something. It will interrupt their development as a species.
Yeah.
And or if there's a civil war going on in the thing and they're like, can you help us? We're the ones who are in the right. You must give us guns and we'll beat them with your superior guns. And they're like, no, we can't. As much as we maybe sympathize with you, we can't interject because it's against the Prime Directive. We can't be part of it because it will change the course of history for your planet.
Uh-huh.
So this episode is a Traveler's Prime Directive episode.
Yeah.
We're starting to, consider these things and the moral quandaries that our characters are going to have for the rest of the show. And that's going to make it interesting. We had a very action-based show in episode 2. Episode 1, we had a good introduction show. So episode 3 is a very thinky show and a very feely show. And they did such a great job with it.
Yeah.
It's expanded the universe. And if we're watching Travelers for the first time, and indeed, again, for our maybe 4th time, if you're Travelers 3326,
yep.
You've just watched it in German. You're going to watch it in Portuguese now. And you're still really engaged with it. It's such a great show. Anything else to add?
I think we've covered it.
Yeah, maybe not so many yucks this time, but it was a pretty serious episode, so not so much to really laugh about.
No.
So hopefully you guys were still entertained and enjoyed reliving this podcast. Reliving this podcast.
This episode.
Reliving this episode through this podcast. We're going to, like we said, we're going to be covering season 3 as soon as it comes out.
Yeah.
You guys send us through anything that you want to talk about, and we're going to we'll feature it in the podcast. Thank you so much again for listening, and we're all going to be sitting there with smiles on our faces on December 14. I have time off work.
Woohoo!
And we're going to be sitting there on the couch and smashing season 3. We're going to be so excited. So guys, have an awesome time watching season 3, episode 1, and we'll catch you on the next pod, which will hopefully come out next week, and get on it. Let us know what you think. So from me, my name is Dee.
My name is Lee.
Thanks for listening.
Thank you. Thanks for listening. If you've enjoyed this podcast, please leave an iTunes review and subscribe.
Keep up to date by visiting our website, reeveu.com.au. reeveu.com.au.
Interact with us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at the 21st Pod. That's at 21STPOD.
Send through your messages, fan theories, or topics of discussion, and we'll talk about them on the podcast. And remember,
stay on mission.
And he sees potential hosts, and then Trevor sees Grace. Oh, shit.
That was a spoiler. 3, 2, 1, Grace.
Hold on. I'll retake that. I'll cut the other one into our...
For what we assume is Grace. We don't know.
Wait. So I'll cut it out. I'll put it at the back as our outtakes. Okay. Right.